back to do another solo gameplay, showing Black Site this time. Again, Jurgen, best hero for solo play. Satchel Charge is like a grenade, and Mask Scent gives you chance to reload, heal, and reposition. His passive doesn't particularly work, so don't worry about that. Carbine Rifle, this is the upgrades. You want explosive rounds, resourcefulness, and lead poisoning. You can swap resourcefulness out for weakness exploitation if you'd like. I wouldn't, but that's another option you do have. I like the SMG with holster helper and weakness exploitation being the two major parts, and then you've got extended mag, which could be shock rounds, or it could be any of the other ones really, but yeah, that's the way I would play it. So we're going to go into Black Site on Insane, and then you want mine seeding and shock grenades, or anything really. It's just my personal preference is to have mine seeding and shock grenades. Given where we are going, I'll start at Aga and just run myself up. Because I am aiming for 5-star, this gives me a good chance to hit a fair few events or objectives along the way. And yeah, so with the Black Site mission, it's just running to a control tower, or it's basically inside the mountain where you need to fix up a couple of objectives and open up some servers. And then it's just running backwards and forwards trying to collect as many as you can. It's very low chance I can collect all of them when you're playing solo. You only, especially on Insane, as you only get 2.5 minutes, which if you're playing by yourself is not enough for running backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. But that's okay. We're not here for the, you don't get anything extra. You can even do it where you don't get any of the servers and you just wait out the 2.5 minutes. Just recently they did have a Discord challenge on this mission where it was to take no damage, or the least amount of damage, and there was a squad that managed to do so by taking no damage at all. I'm assuming that was through using some things like cheesing spots where the dinos can't hit you, which there are quite a few in the whole game. I don't know where many of them are myself. I typically don't use cheese spots when I can avoid it. Well, you can typically always avoid it. When fighting a T-Rex, I'll probably cheese it a little bit, but other than that, I don't typically use a huge amount of cheese. So we're just running straight through trying to get the easy objectives along the way. The hollow's too far out that way, though that would be easy points. So yeah, you run up and it's in the top side, east side of Nova. Again, if you're wanting to hit Ankies, make sure you've put them on their side first. I'll deal with him in a sec when he comes out. Typically you don't need to fight them, and like you don't need to kill a dino and then make sure he's dead. You can attack one and then wait for them to come back to you, and you fight when you're ready, which is the biggest thing I see a lot of people doing, is they don't they try and fight everything and you tunnel into just what's in front of you, and then that will often cause you to take a lot more damage that could have been avoided. Another one is people not jumping. Essentially everyone has Ortega's dash if you jump. Yeah, everyone will have an Ortega dash if provided you were spending the time to jump and dodge yourself. Like it doesn't obviously get you as far as an Ortega dash, but it essentially does the same. It works the same way. that, and we don't need to worry about the explosions. Because I'm not going to be coming back here, I'm definitely going to grab the equipment and things as well. Oh, there's a blue one. Okay, this is some of the problem you'll have if... Oh, yes, we got there. The blue ones you do want, because they're worth 14 points. And the fact that they're a lot harder to get. I probably should have looked. Blue I will still chase down, because eventually there's going to be something else that they'll add, and I'll need materials again. But yeah, typically you'll want to collect all the materials at the start, because the materials are your biggest bottleneck. Yeah, the materials being the biggest bottleneck for new players, because once your guns are upgraded, you are obviously much stronger. And if you got the upgraded guns, you'll have a much easier time playing either solo or with people for that matter. Because nobody likes to just feel like they're just shooting a pea shooter for no reason. So again, rather than fight the dinos, they will chase you. You'll hear that. I didn't quite jump. I didn't move fast enough, but I did get jumped on by an armored raptor there. I should have just moved. Once you hear the static, move left to right. Like either jump or just move your dude. That is a good way to avoid damage. And again, you want to get the Anki to be poisoned first, and then just unload with the SMG. Because once he's purple and poisoned, he'll, with weakness exploitation, he will then take increased damage even with the SMG. So again, that's why you pair carbine with SMG in all situations. It will be the strongest pairing, I think, of guns. If you're using something more that has a slow reload time, that's where your revolver becomes really useful. Because with the revolver, with idle hands, if you get a critical kill, you will automatically reload your weapon, or your primary weapon, not your the secondary. But that's a big deal. Yeah, that's a big deal when you're using something that does take a lot longer to reload. So what I'm going to do here is, because I'm not going to be using this camp, I'm going to take it for whatever I need, which is the equipment and the ammo, and then keep going. Actually, I'll talk about it when I get there. So firstly, it's just plugging into consoles and getting doors to open. You can't use your mine seeds anymore, because if you're underneath, obviously they drop down from the sky. If you've got a roof over your head, not going to work. Which is probably fairly straightforward, I would hope. Now they're coming, and then you've got to do it again. On normal, there's typically a way you can jump through some of those, because there won't be all 5 lines, but when you're on Insane, they're all there, and so you can't just jump through. I did find it interesting when I watched the devs try and do this. They were like, why can't we jump through? But that's because they hadn't played on Insane, and so they didn't even know that that was a thing, which I just think is amusing. Like, it's your game and they didn't know that. But yeah, so then you just have to wait for it to open up, and you just camp this door. Obviously, if you have more people, it's easier to camp the door. Then you're going either A or B. I typically will go B side first, but I think that's just because I have a tendency to gear myself left. There is a watcher just up here that you want to remove straight away, provided you actually shoot him. And then, yeah, so this, typically there's two that are missing when you're playing on normal. Then again, you can just camp the doorway and you'll stay relatively safe. It used to be that you could throw your mines down still, but obviously they took that out because that was just broken. I don't think you could ever use Thumper inside, but yeah, there were times where just things like that they didn't make logical sense. No, if there's a lull in the action, always a good chance to heal. And then because we're not coming back, grab it and go. You always grab and go. Oh yeah, I did connect. I thought for a second I didn't do that. And this one's a little bit harder because you will fight Ankies. There'll be typically an Anki, not always straight away here, but definitely two of them when you get out. And if you're not quick. So now we can go back to using our... So it's get the Anki to go to turn upside down and then just wail on him. And then you do the same thing again. I thought he would have been dead by now. There we go. Because you want to avoid those the necrosis raptors. They can be quite annoying to deal with. Now we'll just pop through. Oh, yep, the dino did it for me. That does happen as well. The dinos will pop the things for you. And then you can just camp the doorway if you want an easier way of managing. This again much easier with a squad, as the whole game is. Game's much easier with people to play it with. I do love how they climb on the walls like that. Yeah, you'll just hold on for, I don't know if it's a minute or 30 seconds. But with the resourcefulness, if you weren't paying attention, my guns weren't really, I wasn't running out of ammo. I wasn't needing to reload because each kill will grant me will grant will grant the ammo back, and thus making it easier again. Now you'll have the server room where you'll have to click a few little buttons. I believe there are some cheese spots where you can sit and dinos won't attack you. I don't know where any of these are, so I can't even show them to you. But yeah, I typically will set up at one of the doorways, and then we just got to try and get as many carries as I can. Unlikely to fully do it, but I'll often start in a system. So it's much easier to start in a system when it's just you. Communicating that to others might be a little bit harder to do. But I'll start at the back and work my way in. I know there is an Anki around, so I need to just keep an eye on that. But you want to be trying to... next part is as soon as these pop up, you want to get rid of them. Again, for obvious reasons, you don't want to have the hollows if you can avoid having them there. So I'd waste the time, or it's not really wasted time, but I would definitely recommend that you remove the hollows whenever you get a chance, especially if you're doing this by yourself. Yeah, and then trying to find a time to reload my invisibility. So you wait until they're in like good little pockets, and then you can just get your invis to come back up. Yeah, there's another. So again, we'll throw that down. The mine seeds are great to throw down as ways to get your as ways to get your invisibility back, as you just saw, or hopefully you would have seen that I had none and then suddenly I had it. So I won't get anywhere near the amount of servers that you need to complete this fully, but that's okay. Oh, I am now in a bit of a poor position. That's right. We'll just run past the Yankees again. A lot of the time it is running past Yankees is what you need to be doing. So what have I got? I've only got 30. Oh gosh. I might actually have to remove them. Oh. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to complete. Oh, and that's not a great thing to have happen either. Yeah, I won't even bother trying to get any more. So 14 is the most I could get then. There was no way to do that. Yeah, not playing with extra people, you won't ever be able to finish, like, on Insane anyway. Maybe with Ortega, but it is a lot harder, obviously, to complete missions with, yeah, to complete missions. Well, there is a bug at the moment where sometimes that gate won't open, and that can be annoying. Alright, so we're already at 1500 points, so that's the mission complete side of things done. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly work on getting to 5-star, and in order to do that I'm just going to go straight across to Nova Ridge's extraction site, and I'll just do a couple of I'll just repair that and I should just about be done. So what I'll do is I'll go through this into the air hangar and then straight down. So through here into the air hangar and then straight down to extraction there. Actually, I was going to go through, but instead I will get that drone. Because that's 28 points that I wouldn't have got otherwise. Because you only need to have about 17 or 1800 points when you're extracting, and that will put you in the zone, or in the approximately the right part. You'll get the points you need by the end if you're at about 1800 points or so when you start the extraction, specifically if you're at a red zone. So what I'll do is I'll do this radar and that hollows there, and that's already 200 points. Oh, plus this, even bonus to have the black box there for 84 points as well. Yeah, and then I'll go and do this part as well. Again, these ones you can cheese a little bit by being up high, and no one will get you. But again, cheesing is only fun for so long. Like, you want the game to at least have a semblance of difficulty. So then you just flick between your different guns that you need. And then you go again. No, I didn't actually look at what my research was, but it's got to be relatively close. So I'll just come straight through now and head out to start extracting. There's nothing else I really need to get. I took the knee. I don't like it when I take the knee. This is a Rex, but a Rex is only worth 32 points, and the time investment to kill them is not worth it. I've shown how to kill Rexes on my last, on my Vestige one. It's just going through the same motions over and over, and that's probably technically cheesing. So I say, oh yes, cheesing's not fun, but sometimes it is the easiest way. So now we'll heal this up. Oh, ah, that wasn't an Anki, that was me being stupid and being too close. I'm like, that was an Anki, but no. You can tell based off how you fell. If it was an Anki, I would have fallen slightly differently. Rather than fight the Anki, I'll work on removing the hollow first. Then I'll look around for where the Anki is. That should not have hit me. But I believe a lot of people are having those issues with Ankis, that they'll hit you when you really feel like they shouldn't. I know that there's Ankis coming around, so you keep yourself moving. And you use like that. There was no way I should be hit then. But early access, still some major bugs within how the physics of some of it works. At the moment, having all of these Ankis and not having removed any is going to be detrimental. It should be that they should be relatively low, so it shouldn't be too hard. It's just once I kill, I got to get rid of them before they become more of an issue. Again, you want to get rid of the hollow quickly. And then you move yourself away from where the Ankis are. Now I've got the time to heal, because again you get lots of time to do your healing on Jurgen, which is again another reason why I think he's the best. Because you just deal damage, go invisible, deal damage, go invisible, and you just keep going through the motions. And so by poisoning and then using the SMG, you will do the greatest amount of damage, and that's what you're really after. You're after doing the most amount of damage that you can, because obviously that makes things easier. The more damage you do, the easier the game becomes. And again, the carbine gets rid of trash mobs so effectively. I don't need to fight that one, so I just won't. I'll just go invisible, throw them down, and then just wait. I can just wait it out here and peg out that. That'll work. And then we go through cinematics. Those are your cinematics that people all want to have. And then there's bulk Ankis still hanging out. But that's how I would go about Black Site Solo. Obviously, if you weren't comfortable extracting at an Anki filled zone, that's completely understandable. Fighting the Ankies is quite annoying. This black screen takes forever. We'll have a look, see if I don't get any skins. No skins still, but I'm only chasing, I think, about 3 that are left that I don't have. Which is a little bit sad, I guess. The fact that I've got so much already completed. But yeah, until the next video, happy dino hunting.